What I think I most admire about Eli is that he combines a scholar's mind with a poet's heart. He's always there to remind us that no matter what work we do, unless we do it with and for each other, it's no longer important. He reminds us to be humane to one another when most of the world has forgotten about that. And he's really formed everything that he's formed out of a sense of love and caring for other people. Eli's a special kind of scholar, and I think about him retiring. I think about him being, in many ways, our senior scholar, the one we can turn to remind us why we do what we do, how important it is to our students, how important it is to each other. All along, Eli has taught me to care about others, to take care of each other, and to make sure that we're all there for one another. Eli, thank you for all you've done. You've been a tremendous friend, a great mentor, and we all love you.
So probably my favorite thing about Eli is just his general good nature, warm-heartedness, and kindness. He's always looking to talk to people, connect with people, mentor them. He's, in my time at Temple, he's been one of my most trusted mentors, and I can't kind of imagine what Temple's going to be like without him. But I guess we'll find out. And my favorite PWPA memory with Eli is probably from 2012 when we co-chaired the Disability in Writing Symposium together, which was co-sponsored by PWPA. And we invited two wonderful speakers, Cindy and Brenda, and we had great panels. We had panels of students with disabilities. We brought together writing teachers. We had poets from Beauty as a Verb speaking. And it was just a really great way to get people together, connect them. And honestly, that's what I think Eli does best. He's a connector. He brings people together. He wants to make connections among people in academia and the community. And we're going to miss that. And I guess I just hope that he can continue to do that the way he wants to in his retirement. And I wish him the best. Thanks, Eli.
Eli Goldblatt has always been about community. In his scholarship, in his teaching, in his literacy projects. But what I'd like to talk about is the fact that Eli made a community. He made a community with the Philadelphia Area Council of Writing Program Administrators, the first regional Council of Writing Program Administrators affiliate. And in doing so, he was able to spread his best qualities, his best actions throughout this region. And what that is that he enriched the lives of all of us at dozens of colleges and universities in this region. He enriched our intellectual lives. He enriched our teaching. He enriched the lives of our students because he was able to help us stand up for the best in the teaching of composition. That's something that's going to live on in all the work that all our students do and all the success that they have. And for that, Eli, we say thank you.
Hi everyone, I am Michelle Filling-Brown from Cabrini University, and I want to take this opportunity to say congratulations to Eli on his retirement. I have known Eli for a long time, and one of my earliest, fondest memories was back in 2007 when I was still a doctoral student and I was presenting at WPA, and we were in Arizona, and we went to an Arizona Diamondbacks game. And I remember sitting with Eli. Of course, he proudly had his Phillies hat on, and we were just hanging out and chatting, and he made me feel so welcomed and part of the community. I was just really grateful and thought, these are my people, and I'm so glad that I will get to work with them for the rest of my life. I made a mental note, not only then, but over the years watching Eli at different conferences and certainly through PWPA. Eli, I just admire your enthusiasm for learning, your compassion for your students, and your heart for serving the community. And I've made that mental note as I've watched your face light up with joy, watching your students present, that this is what it means to be a teacher. And this is what it means to be not just a scholar, but a scholar who really uses his talents and gifts for his community. And I really admire that about you, and I'm trying to emulate that throughout my career. I also remember when I was co-chair of PWPA and we worked on the PWPA history, and synchronously there was a whole group of us who started to document the history of the organization. And I remember you wrote, "We're all growing up together." And certainly we are. And I am so grateful for all of the friendships that I have formed over the years with Scott, Rebecca, Katie, Bill, Clyde, Seth, you, of course, Val. There's so many. And I'm grateful for this organization. And I know that we all go through the highs and lows of life together. And even if we miss some meetings and don't see each other for a while, I know that PWPA is always there to support my work. And I'm just really grateful for those relationships. And Eli, because of you and so many others, we have this organization and this network. And so indeed, we are all growing up together through marriages, babies, divorces, marriages, happiness, highs and lows. And certainly today is one of those highs, your retirement. So congratulations. And thank you so much for being such a positive influence in my life. I am so appreciative and grateful of you. Thanks, Eli.
Hi, Eli. Congratulations. This is Katie Gindelsparger from Thomas Jefferson University. I came here in 2010 from the University of Arizona, and I didn't know anybody, and I'd never been to Philadelphia before. But coming to what was then Philadelphia University was really informed by PWPA and you, in fact. I remember the people on my committee and the mentors that I was working with at Arizona and my friends at University of Delaware, they all thought, it'll be okay. Eli's here. It's fine. And it has been fine. I think in large part because I've had the luck and the pleasure of being one of your mentees and you helping me along the way. Particularly, I remember a moment, it must have been the first PWPA meeting, maybe in 2011 or 2010. We were at a panel with a lot of nonprofits. It was FEND, I think. And when I was in graduate school, I worked at nonprofits. And so I was really excited to go. And so I went, it was my first meeting. And I remember I was sitting in the audience and hearing everybody talk about their experiences at nonprofits, like really bummed me out. I got upset. And so I went outside into the hallway where all the food was. And I had a cookie and a bottle of water. And I just started crying because I missed home. I was homesick and I didn't know what I was doing here. And you came out into the hallway, I think just, I don't know for what reason. And you were like, are you okay? You're going to be okay. You're going to be all right. Is that a good cookie? And I always have appreciated that moment and your confidence in me. You've inspired confidence all along the way. And it has really helped. I've also been grateful for your help with my scholarship. We worked a little bit on study abroad, and we were on some panels at CWPA and C's on study abroad, and that inspired me to write an article about study abroad that's become a really big deal in my own research. And you were just really central in pushing me to do that, and I really appreciate it. So congratulations. You will not escape all of us from PWPA. We know what neighborhood you live in. We know where you live. You've hosted us at your house. So thank you for everything, and to many more years of you continuing to do your work exactly how you want it. Thanks.
Hey, Eli. It's fitting that here at the cusp of your retirement, the Phillies are relevant and exciting again. And I'm hoping that you're planning to get to the ballpark a good many times this summer and beyond. I met you 10 years ago at a WPA conference in Minneapolis, and I was a bright-eyed and bushy-tailed master's graduate student. And I, too, was enamored by the Phillies, and I, too, had my heart anchored to the Delaware Valley. And you took me under your wing, man. There's nothing more that I can say about it. Everything that opened up for me after that has a little bit of your hand in it. Whether it was helping me with my grad school decisions, introducing me to Steve Parks, getting me hooked up with the Syracuse crew, walking me through some decisions around job market, helping me with statements, with prepping my interview, coming and actually hanging out with me in Parks before an interview. It's really been remarkable how generous you are, and I'm but one of many people that have been touched by that generosity. You're an incredible light. You have the heart of a poet, you have the brain of a scholar, and you have the fire in your belly of a community organizer. And it's such a rare gift to see all of those cylinders firing at the same time in you. And we are so lucky to have you. So lucky that we get to walk the earth at the same time as you. So on this, your retirement party, I hope you savor this moment and the many moments to come. I hope that there's many metaphors and beautiful turns of phrase that will come from this next step in your writing life and in your living life. And I wish you the best in it. And please know that if you ever need anything, I'm here for you. Thanks, Eli. You're the best. Go Phils.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Eli. My name is Mary Goldschmidt. For 8 years, I was the director of the writing program at the College of New Jersey, and a very, very fortunate member of PWPA. I've been in higher education for about 30 years, and I can count on 3 fingers the number of colleagues who are as welcoming and friendly and generous as Eli. He gave me much needed advice whenever I asked him. He served as a reference for me when I made the jump to faculty development. And he was just a role model in everything that he did. And as you all know, he did and still does a lot of different things. And it's never confined to Temple's campus. So I actually want to end with a memory of just from not too long ago. Eli conducted or facilitated a workshop for the Stockton Rush Bartoll Foundation. It was a teaching artists workshop. And the focus was on the skills and capabilities that arts education can foster in our students. And Eli was, interactive and engaging, and most of all, he was inclusive and really challenged us to think about our students as whole people. So for that, I want to thank you, Eli, and again, congratulations.
Hi, Eli. This is Joel, and this is a new experience for me, looking at myself talking about someone else, but I'll give it a go. So, what do I remember and admire about you? I admire your generosity, your kindness, your like open door to your heart policy, your compassion, your everything, your democratic tendencies, all that stuff. And to have known you and worked with you a little bit one way or another for more than 20 years is the best thing I could put on my resume today. So, PWPA will miss you for sure. I will, I don't know, you don't have to leave the organization. I mean, I've not, and I'm retired, so. Thanks, Eli. Bye.
Hi, Eli. Happy retirement. You know we will miss you terribly, especially at PWPA, where you've always been such a leader. The one thing I want to emphasize about your influence is that you never hesitate to lift someone else up. You always reach out to colleagues who are more junior than you and help them, even if it's a small comment, a letter, a moment of support. And I want to thank you for that and tell you that you've influenced me to pass on that kind of kindness. So even though you are an excellent scholar, teacher, and colleague, you are really just a great and kind human being. And we are fortunate to have been influenced by you.
Eli, I'm sorry I'm looking so disheveled, but some of the reasons for that are actually contained within what I'm about to read for you. So here we go. A real advisor, we'll call him Eli, and a gloomy, lethargic, uncertain graduate student, or GLUGS, a short play, Setting, desk, 2 chairs, set at 90-degree angles, of course. Eli sits in one chair reading. Glugs enters, slumps in the other chair. Eli, brightly, how are you? Glugs, considerably less brightly, emits 7 to 10 second sigh. I'm stressed out. My diss is crap. I don't know what I'm saying. I can't write. I don't belong in grad school. I'm a phony. I don't know what I'm going to do with my life now, let alone post-grad school, which, as I just pointed out, I don't belong in anyway. I doubt every decision I've ever made. Throughout, Eli nods with discernment and empathy. Eli, slowly at first, but accelerating as he pushes forward rhetorically. Glugs, do you mind, for the sake of elegance, if I just call you Scott? You have to remember, you're doing just fine. You've done the work. The next steps are lining up for you. The jobs are out there for you. I keep telling you, you're not married to the profession. You're already married to a person. You're a dad, and a great one. You're married to a community. You do lots of good work. You've also shown you're a strong member of the community here. There's no question to me that that's what your professional life will continue to look like. Glugs looks on doubting, but is now a bit less slumpy. Okay, thanks. That helps. But you still can't deny my writing horribleness. Or is it horribility? I just don't know. Buries head in hands. Eli. Well, that's what we're here to talk about. Points to papers on the desk. I just read chapter 4, and the light went on for me about your whole project. Look here. Excitedly shares paper with Glugs, who now leans forward. At page 8,974. Do you see how this links back to page 1,347 in chapter 1? This was the exact part you'd been struggling with, and now you've written your way to an answer. Glugs nodding. Yeah, you're right. Oh man, I hadn't seen that. Laughs. You know, I've been slogging through this, doubting every dollar I ever earned as a freelance writer. Thanks so much. Eli, stop thanking me. How many times have we talked about this? You're working through this dissertation beautifully. Glugs, despite it all, seeks an angle through which to be defeated and to slump again. But how am I ever going to get this published? Eli, what have I told you? They both, with a chorus of past, present, and future Glugs who emerge from the background, sing out, Your dissertation is not your book. Glugs, okay, I get it. Eli laughs earnestly and richly, and they high-five. In higher budget theater venues, this common, almost quotidian gesture of goodwill and celebration is accompanied by electrical energy transfer. Glugs, thanks again. Eli, stop thanking me. Oh, before you leave, I've got this thing to talk to you about. There are these 7 units on campus. The leaders don't get along all that well, but they really should work together. I came up with a great GA for you that positions you among all of them, right in the middle. I think you'll be great. Glugs, I feel better already. Now, if I could just start dressing like a Temple first-year writing program and teacher and stop with this business casual. Curtain.
Eli Goldblatt. Cosmos, our very own Whitman. How lucky we are to have you and to have these years of working with you and more years ahead, I'm very sure. You're always moving, making connections, observing, never too busy, never the restless glance at your watch. I don't even know if you wear a watch, because you're always ready to loaf with us, to explore the possibilities, to be in the moment, enjoying everything. And yet not a poet of goodness only, also a poet of wickedness, someone who's able to see the good and the bad mingled together to understand the context of things, someone you can rely on to talk through things, a vision not occluded or shuttered. In all the years I've known you, Eli, it strikes me that I've never experienced a single moment of hubris from you, never taking credit for things, always more concerned about making things happen than drawing attention to yourself. So I'm sure you love this whole tribute thing. But PWPA, you've asked us to write a history of it. We'll do that. It really is one of your poems. It began with you. It's going to live on beyond all of us, and that's a pretty amazing accomplishment. You are, to me, less of a role model and more of an inspiration. You're kind of a tough act to follow, much less imitate. So I just am hoping that you continue to help us grow the organization, continue to be the master of conviviality and connection and inspiration, continue to light up our paths and our own possibilities so that we can continue the work that I know is so important to you and to all of us. Thank you for everything you have done, and I can't wait to see what you're going to get us all to do next.